generalized swelling of the body. We're in a situation where we're between the rock and the hard place. We run out of ECMO time, and there's no guarantee that her lungs can sustain her now, so we're really in a desperate situation today.
Millie has to be taken off ECMO and put back on a respirator.
We tried this last week, and she failed that test. We're going to try the test again.
At 1:15 p.m., Millie is taken off the ECMO machine.
If she fails the test and her lungs don't sustain her, then I think the outcome is going to be very bad. The family understands that we've pushed this as far as we can push it, and that we're out of alternatives. This is the last thing we can give her lungs. She's going to sink or swim.
She's just not strong enough. 1 hour later, Millie dies. Millie's lungs never recovered after the separation. Her doctors still don't know why.
You hope all things and you endure all things, and this is the other side of it, and enduring the tragedies.
I have no hesitation, and I don't lament at all the decision to undertake separation. Many others involved in that decision, including the family, are absolutely convinced that that was the right thing to do. It's not easy. It's not easy, but it gets easier, I guess, when we go up and see Lucy.
You're a pretty girl. You're a pretty girl.
That same day, just down the hallway.
Yeah, and you're such a good girl, too. Yes, you smile so much. She's already come a long way. She's getting stronger. You can tell she feels better. Yes.
And 2 weeks later, 49 days after the operation,
How pretty you look.
Lucy is going home.
You ready to go?
You feel for the mom, she's, crying tears of joy and grief at the same time.
This feeling that sits in the back of my head is that there were conjoined twins, and at some point there's one and there's not the other, and at some point this story will be conveyed by Victoria to Lucy about how her life began, and that there was another child. And I think that's maybe a little hard.
And we'll go. Okay? All right.
Was it worth it?
Oh, sure. Undeniable. Now she's going to be a regular little girl. The exclamation point is a day like today.
Does this mean that she is going to be able to play and do anything that any of the kids in her neighborhood can do?
That's the goal. That's the goal, is to let her run around and play and be like any other child. That's the whole... And I'm optimistic that will happen.
We wish that there were 2 car seats, but it wasn't to be this time.
Victoria won't be taking home the child she named Miracle. But to her, one child may be miracle enough.
Since that day when she left the hospital, Lucy has made remarkable progress. She and her mother have returned to the Dominican Republic, where Lucy continues her recovery. Her doctors in New York say Lucy will be back to see them in about 6 months for a routine checkup. I'm Dan Rather, and that's 48 Hours. Coming up next, your late local news. Now, a look ahead at our next report.
He took a high-powered BB gun and he pointed it at a 6-year-old student.
To save a child from a gang.
He's surrounded by gangs and drugs.
I can't tell him what to do. He doesn't listen to me.
Will his mother have to give him up?
The issue is whether they want to take you out of the home.
Don't do this to me today. Get up!
Placing a child in the custody of the state is exactly what he needs to turn his life around.
That's a lie. Justin don't deserve that.
The powerful story.
He's still a little kid.
Next week.
For a transcript of this program, send $6 to 48 Hours Transcripts, Box 7, Livingston, New Jersey, 07039. And to order a VHS cassette of tonight's broadcast, call 1-800-338-4847.
Stick around for The Late Show. Dave welcomes Matt Dillon, NBA star Reggie Miller, singer Pam Tillis, plus a special Super Bowl report. Now your local news.
Family members comb the streets looking for a Parma teen who went to the library and never came back.
The search for a pregnant 10-year-old ends with some very startling revelations.
And the hippest, hottest clubs in Cleveland. Details now on 19 News at 11.
Live from our newsroom in downtown Cleveland. This is 19 News at 11.
As long as he's okay, then fine. That's it. That's all I want. That's all I'm hoping to find, just him, and safe and sound.
In Parma, a sister spends another night searching for her missing 16-year-old brother.
Angelo Cucci failed to return from the library yesterday afternoon. Scott Newell spent today and this whole evening with Angelo's family. He's got more now from the newsroom. Scott?
Angelo Cucci hasn't been seen since about 4:30 yesterday afternoon, since he dropped off some videotapes at the Parma Library on Snow Road. Tonight, his family is vowing to search for Angelo until they find him.